San Diego Wave this year has been fantastic, from impactful playing signings, new coaches, a standout rookie class. The first half season success for them sees them sitting in the top 4 of the table and looking for more. So we are pleased to welcome in San Diego Wave general manager Camille Ashton. She was a standout player with their time in Stanford, played professionally. She was a GM at Kansas City, and now she has found so much success with San Diego. Camille, welcome in.
Thank you so much for having me.
We are so excited to chat with you. Now, just to give everyone a little behind the scenes taste, we were supposed to chat with you, Cami, in June. And bigger and better things happened because you welcomed the birth of your second son. So congratulations. How are you? How's the baby? How's the fam? We're glad we could finally get you back on the show.
Thank you, and thanks for being patient with me. Yes, I had the baby a little earlier than expected, so that changed my schedule a little bit, but really appreciate it. And yeah, things are good. Baby's healthy, so everything is good. Thank you.
Cami, you don't often get interviews pushed because someone's going to labor, so we respected that. We absolutely did. Thanks for joining us. We're excited to chat with you. And you just mentioned your mom. You have 2 children. And we have seen this surgence of motherhood in NWSL really after the new CBA. Does it make you proud to be able to see players pursue that other side of their life alongside their professional career as a soccer player?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it shouldn't have to be one or the other, and I think the support that we now see from the league, from franchises, from organizations, both for players and for staff, I think we've come a long way. I don't think it stops here. I think we have to keep pushing and always fighting for more. But it's incredible that we see so many mothers being able to continue and pursue their dreams in their careers as well.
Well, you talk about fighting for more, and something that's been so fun to watch with San Diego, especially this last year, is the complete revamp of players, a new coach, and seemingly a new culture that you brought and integrated into this franchise. How did that come about, and how did you really get buy-in from players? Because I think this last season we looked at kind of the mass exodus of these players that we were the faces of San Diego. And now it's a complete new team. It's a big evolution, and it's just been a joy to see. But how did you integrate that into your squad?
Yeah, look, I think the success that we've had so far, you can't really attribute it to one thing. I think as a club, we were very intentional in the off season coming into the season about every decision we were making, and that included the hiring of Jonas, every staff member that we brought into the organization, because we don't talk about that a lot, but we have, I think it's over 15 new staff in the building as well. The roster build, similarly, I think it's really important. We did have some big names leave the club, and when you think about the environment and the culture, you need people in this environment that want to be here. So irrespective of an individual player's talent, if it's their time to leave, then you have to support that and do what's best for the player. But it also ultimately ends up being what's best for the club, because you need that buy-in from everybody in the environment to have success. And I think what we did is we were very intentional about how we've built the roster, about the players we've brought in. And I think we have this really good blend of young and experienced players, international and domestic. So I think credit to the team behind the team. I have an incredible recruitment group as well in Mark Carr and Chris Loxton, who have been kind of my left and right hand in building this roster that going into this year. So there's a lot of things, and I think that the way that Jonas has been able to get the group coming together so quickly, you never know how long that's going to take. Sometimes it doesn't ever happen, and I think the way they've all bought in and come together as a group has been incredible.
We are going to dive into this roster makeup because this is such a fun team to watch in the NWSL and the pretty football, but so much of it does stem from the coaching and the influence that Jonas has, bringing his European style from coaching in England and his time in Sweden to the West Coast and to San Diego and making an impact in the NWSL, which is difficult to do in a league that is almost in its own transition period of getting a little bit more technical. The team has buy-in. What is it from Jonas Eidevall that has allowed this group to really get on board with his game plan?
Yeah, I think it's clarity in how we want to play. I think that that's sort of the foundation, but I think it's also just an alignment in the goals. We have a group of players that wants to win and is hungry, and I think when you bring that all together and there's clarity in roles and in the way we want to play, I think that's a very powerful thing.
When you look at this team, gosh, it must be so fun to be a GM and get to build a roster. And I feel like we need to dub it like the Paris of the West Coast now with how many French players you guys have. I'm curious, when you're building a team, how important is that first domino? It was Delphine Cascarino that you got from France, but now a number of players that have international French experience or are young, up and coming. How do you do that? And how much buy-in do those players have then saying, oh, I want to play with this player because I know them?
Yeah, I think it's obviously it helps a lot. I think there weren't typically a lot of French players specifically in the league, and I think once Delphine came, and then Pearl, and then Kenza at the start of this year, they've all been hugely important to our success. And I think you know eh, people in France now are talking more about the club naturally and watching what we're doing, watching the league more. So that obviously helps with recruitment, I think for us, but also around the league.
Cami, you have people in the chat saying "Ale San Diego." Truly is, Jordan. I like that. Paris
Yeah.
of the West Coast. You need to dub that. But I want to know the influence of these internationals, these veterans that have so much experience, how they've affected the younger players, because you do have superstars on your team of Barcenas, Escanio, Trinity Armstrong. How much of an influence have they had in their game and the team's success this season?
Incredible amounts. I want to call out Kenza because I think everyone has been really impressed by what you see, on weekends and on game days. But I think her influence in the day to day, right from the get go, the way she was able to connect with the young players on our team, instilling confidence in them, but also holding them accountable and holding them to high standards. I think the way just on and off the field that, her and our other vets, but, her being new to the team and with the experience she had, it's incredible the way she's just been able to help our young players and the influence that she's had, not just on game days. So it's a huge part of the reason why this team is having success right now is our veteran players, and yeah, they're holding this group to high standards and holding everybody accountable in the best way.
Yeah, we definitely need to shout out Savannah McCaskill because this has been a resurgence year for her. Like, stop counting her out, people. She has been incredible for you guys. But you guys do have two new signings coming in this window. You brought in Dudinia, you brought in Fraser from France. Tell everybody a little about them. What do we expect from these players who have experience internationally, but also they're young, Cami?
Yeah, it's exciting to think about. I think Digia, I don't know if people watched a little bit this summer at Copa America, but she's dynamic. She's an exciting attacking player for us that, yeah, we're very excited to bring on board and give us another attacking piece to this team. And with Lorena, she has that experience internationally, like you said, and a very technical player, high soccer IQ. So exciting to bring some more depth to the midfield as well.
Cami, we have to ask because San Diego plays in a rivalry against Angel City this weekend, and the chat might kill me if I don't ask this. Will we see any of these new players this weekend?
I don't know yet. We're still in the visa process, so we still have a day and a half, 2 days here to see if anything comes through. Not sure yet if they will be making an appearance on the game day roster.
Okay, so we're not sure about the player appearances, but what about the food at Snapdragon Stadium? People are saying because of all this French influence, they need a crepe stand at Snapdragon. Can we get that in the works, Cami?
Okay, I'll make sure to bring that. I'll bring that to others to discuss if that's a possibility.
She's the GM of the people, everyone. It's Camille Ashton. She does it all. Darian just wants wine, crepe, croissant.
I had to croissants and wine. I had to throw it in.
Cami, thank you so much for joining us. This is really fun to chat with you. We appreciate it. And good luck the rest of the way this season.
Thank you so much.
Camille Ashton, GM of San Diego Wave. I mean, that was pretty cool to talk to her, get a little bit of the inside scoop. Feels like a thankless job at times to be a GM of a team. If you're up, you're never up enough. And if you're down, a lot of it falls on the shoulders of a GM, and she carries herself with so much grace.